Hello everyone, welcome to another English lesson. Today we're going to continue with the Global English book. Prepare your books and let's start. To complete the other half of Unit 14 that we started with yesterday, we will have to start with the compound adjectives. We will explain them and give many examples. After that, we would know the meaning of autobiography. We will read a text about it and then answer some questions. The following point will be strong adjectives. And finally, we will finish the lesson with solving the questions of reviewing for units 13 and 14. Concerning compound adjectives, we already learned that compound means more than one. So here, we would know that we have more than one word that would make an adjective. So usually 2 or 3 words that will make an adjective. So you would find out in most of the times that we have a hyphen between the two words. Sometimes for some words there is no hyphen. So here we have some examples for compound adjectives. You have teenage, which is teenage. You have life-sized, careworn, blue-blooded, far off. You see, most of them contain this hyphen. We have even more examples in our book. On page 115, exercise 3, we will know the meanings of some of these compound adjectives. So starting with the first one, hardly used. Hardly used means it has hardly ever been used or it has almost never been used. As for well-known, we use this all the time. It means famous. Multi or multi-sport, both the pronunciations are possible, mean you can use it for lots of different sports. For number 4, well-behaved. Well-behaved means friendly and not difficult to look after. And the last one, multicolors, it means of many colors. Before we start reading the text on page 116, the autobiography, I know that some of you know the meaning of autobiography, but I would like to give you the origin of the word. The word comes from a Greek origin, and it contains 3 words inside it, starting with auto, which means self, then bio, which means live, and graphy, which means I write. So the whole word would mean a story about yourself. That's a way so that you never forget this word. Now we will read the text, and after that we will solve the exercises. Now that you've read the text, you can stop the video right now and try solving these exercises. If you already did, let's start solving them. For the first one, exercise 3, the answers would be as the following. Dazzling and brilliant would both mean very bright. Then we would have glorious, which is C, very beautiful. Then you have 4, which is exquisite, is D, very delicate, very fine. And for vile, it is very bad, A. For exercise 4, we have to find other compound adjectives used in this text. So here are some example answers that could be found here. Dazzling whitewashed walls, glorious fresh flowers, exotic sweet smelling flowers, beautiful flame red hibiscus, and vile tasting liquid. All these are examples for these compound adjectives. Now we would move on to explain strong adjectives. Strong adjectives could be extremely important in your writing in addition to your speech. Strong adjectives allow us to use better words without using very. It can be quite boring in writing if you kept using very all the time. So it is better to use more adjectives that would make your writing more interesting and more appealing. So here I will give you many words, many strong adjectives that would let you avoid using very all the time. Starting with the first one, instead of saying very rude, you would say vulgar. Vulgar gives a stronger meaning that the one that is speaking, he's being extra rude. After that, we have very short. You can use brief, stronger meaning. Very boring. If you're sitting in a class, you're feeling very bored, you can say it's dull. So dull means very boring. Very good. Instead of saying very good the whole time, superb. It gives a better effect to the one who is listening to you. Very hot. It has two words, scalding and scorching. Scalding is for liquids, while scorching is for anything else. So if you're talking about the weather, you can say that it's scorching outside. While if you're talking about water, you can say it is scalding. Then you have very cold, which is freezing. We use this very often. Well, this is a nice word. If someone is running or is walking in the morning, you can tell him, you are sluggish, means very slow. Very fast is rapid. Very rich, wealthy. You see, if someone is very rich, then the one who pays him is very wealthy. Very tired, exhausted. And finally, very poor, destitute. To apply the words that we have recently learned on a real speech or on a real paragraph, we would take this paragraph, which is full of punctuational mistakes and using very the whole time. So if you would read it, my name is John. I live in a very poor part of Los Angeles. I have to work long hours, so I'm usually very tired, very good, very cold, very hot, very rich. It is extremely boring, dull. That's why we would avoid using very by the words that we learned, and we would fix all the punctuational mistakes that the writer has made. So you can stop the video and try working on this now. If you did, let's get the better version of this paragraph. Let's read it. First, he forgot the indent, and it's very important in any paragraph. That's why we put an indent here. My name is John. I live, of course, you have here before I live, you have full stop because this information finished and there is nothing to link it with I live. So full stop is required. I live in a destitute part of Los Angeles. See, destitute better than very poor. I have to work long hours, comma, so I am usually exhausted. Why did we use this comma? Because we have so, a conjunction. Exhausted was used instead of very tired. You have all the words here. My home has a superb view of the city. See? Superb, better than very good. But, and again before but, a comma because it is a conjunction, is often freezing in winter and scorching in summer. I work hard, comma, so one day I will be wealthy instead of saying very rich. And you finish your paragraph with a full stop. Now we would move on to solving the review questions of Unit 13 and 14. We will solve only the important ones. So let's start with exercise 3. Choose the correct word. The answers would be as written here. You can copy them. Get 3 packets of biscuits. 4. Of course, you can say for the price of 2. 2. This week there is 10% off all cleaning products. Number 3 is on. 4 is at. 5 on. And 6 up to. Now for exercise 4, complete the sentences with the correct reflexive pronouns. You remember reflexive pronouns: myself, himself, themselves. All these pronouns, you would use the right ones for this exercise. So stop the video and try solving this one. If you finished, let me give you the answers. For number 1, it's already solved. My brother's just bought himself a guitar. Number 2, I painted my room myself. 3, there is some milk in the fridge. Make yourself a milkshake. Yourselves can be right too if we're talking about 2 people. 4, my best friend gave me this bracelet. She made it herself. 5, listen, you two, be careful when you are lifting that heavy trunk. You might hurt yourselves. Yourself here is not an option because we said you too, so it should be yourselves. 6, my grandparents treated themselves to a new TV. 7, I hope you don't mind, but we helped ourselves. And finally, the radio on my alarm clock switches itself off after an hour. In exercise 5, we have some sentences and adjectives given between brackets. When we use these brackets, there will be a difference in the structure of the sentence. So for the first one, do you like your new ski boots? When I put the adjective pleased, the sentence will be, are you pleased with your new ski boots? 2. Don't get angry with your little brother. So angry gives a negative meaning. That's why we said don't be angry, while nice gives a positive one. So we would simply say, be nice to your little brother. 3. My friend is afraid of spiders would be the solution. 4. I like photography. So using keen, we would say I'm keen on photography. 5. You always get top marks in math. So we can simply say you are good at maths. Exercise 6 again is for using the right prepositions. So you can copy these right answers for this exercise. For exercise 7, we have done something similar in the workbook using have something done. So for number 1, it's already solved. Professional cleaners. How would you do it? You would say, you can have your clothes cleaned here. For number 2, we repair shoes while you wait. So you can simply say, you can have your shoes repaired here. Number 3, Monday and Friday car wash free when you buy 50 liters of fuel. So you can say, you can have your car washed here. And for 4, you can say, you can have your hair cut here. As for the final one, we take your photo in a studio setting. You can say, you can have your photo taken here. A great exercise for you to practice reported speech here is exercise 8. You will have to report these sentences, and of course they should be in past perfect tense. Past perfect is had plus the past participle of the verb. Put that in your mind. So starting with the first sentence, I found some family photos at the bottom of the drawer. This is a present perfect sentence. That's why we would report it, and we will do it, or we will change it to past perfect. So the solution would be, he said he had found some family photos. 2. I've bought a flute with my pocket money. So we would say, she said she'd bought a flute with her pocket money. Notice the abbreviation or the contraction of had, she'd. Number 3. I made a cake at the weekend. So he said he'd made a cake at the weekend. Number 4. I saw a really good film on TV. A past simple sentence. So when we report it, it will be, she said she'd seen a really good film on TV. Number 5. I haven't had time to practice the guitar. So he said, the sentence will be, he said he hadn't had time to practice the guitar. As for the last one, I didn't do very well in the exam. So she said she hadn't done very well in the exam. See? Simple. Only use had plus the past participle of the verb. I hope you understood all the points that were explained in this lesson and you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. Thank you so much for your listening.